Today on the grid, it's finally actually Blind Photo Critique Day. And today we're doing critiques just of portraits. Our in-studio guest is a wonderful, super talented portrait, fashion, and beauty photographer, Mary Bell. Of course, my co-host is here, and he sails on a catamaran. He loves Toucan Sam. He wants to drive a Porsche Taycan. He has a large wingspan. He makes sure to get plenty of bran. He's got a sunny Florida tan. He doesn't like ginger. He likes Marianne. He cooks it up in a pan. You should see him do the can-can. He lives down by the river in a van. He's not Bruce Wayne. He's Batman. It's the real Rocket Man. Eric Kuno's here. We've got some news, some prizes too, and it all starts in just 23.8 seconds.
The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the tripod alternative that is changing the world. Everybody has a Platypod. You should too. Go to platypod.com.
Can I share this?
We're back.
Hi.
Hot camera.
Yeah, that was a hot camera. Woo!
Whoa.
Did you see that?
Whoa.
Did you see that? All right. Hey, Eric's here, and our very special guest today, Mary Bell, is here. Mary Bell, welcome back. Second time on the grid.
Yes, I'm
We
excited.
are thrilled to have you back. You are one of my favorite people, and you're just a great instructor. And I every time your promo comes up for your class on the grid here, I'm always like, man, did she get that done? You nailed that class.
Thank you.
You created wonderful images, and we're just delighted to have you here today. So thank you for coming
I'm
back.
excited.
And oh yeah, today is going to be an interesting day. So you have you done the blind critiques with us before?
No, I haven't. My first one.
Oh, all right. So you're probably wondering, as you look at the screen, Mary Bell, why my chair is so low and your chair and Eric's are at the proper height. This is a continuing thing on the grid. I don't know. I think they must do it on
It's a
purpose.
subliminal
Like they
message,
must. My
Scott.
crew must go. Let's give Scott the chair that shrinks down. It's just so annoying. And I mean, I guess I could sit up.
I mean, my big hair doesn't help either.
I guess I could sit up super straight. Yeah, you do have a hair advantage. Yeah, Eric and we're hair disadvantaged.
Yeah.
You are certainly hair advantage.
You can have some.
Anyway, so you're going to have a good time with this. You guys at home, about 20 of you are not going to have as good a time. Well, it depends. So we have a very wide range of images that we're gonna cover today. We've got all kinds of stuff. So yesterday we asked people to submit 3 of their portrait images. So 3 of their best, and I asked specifically for their best.
That's the key there. 3 of your best.
Right. Now, here's what people submitted. Photos of jets, photos of landscapes. I put portrait in all caps, and then when you went to the upload link, it says only portraits or fashion in all caps. I got pictures of flowers. I got travel pictures.
Well, of being honest, though, a portrait of a jet's really cool.
It is, but that's not exactly what a portrait is.
I get you.
I mean, who reads
Anyway.
nowadays? Who reads?
Oh, I should probably put on my headphones so I can actually hear better. Oh, there. Ooh, wow, that's much better. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. We've had a bunch of people send us in. Eric's going to keep our
Well,
time.
James is already saying in the comments, break them, make them cry.
Oh, no.
No.
Can I tell you something?
No, that's not what that is about.
We don't have any
Not what
break
it's
them
about.
or make them cry photos today. The level of photography is pretty good overall today. There are some ones that you're going to see, Mary Bell, that you're going to go, oh, yeah, you need to fix some stuff. And there's some that you're going to look at. And you know what's bad? One guy, or a gal, I don't know who sent it, somebody sent in really good portraits, but they only sent 2.
Uh-oh.
Well, we don't do 2. We do 3. And we're like, you have to follow the basic instruction.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, you'd love them. We might look at them anyway, but anyway,
Hey, before we start, a couple things. Well, one,
Yes.
we got to talk about our prizes.
yes, prizes.
But we do have to set up. We talked about this topic last week on the grid. We were going to talk about, photo critiques and what even professionals want out of a photo critique. And one of the best in the business is Joe McNally. So,
Yes.
we've got a clip from Joe McNally that we're going to show this week as well to kind of set that up. But before we get there, we probably should talk about the prizes, right?
Yes, let's talk about prizes.
We got
Let's
a
talk
bunch of
about
prizes this week on the show. So first, we're giving away I'm a multi-accessory kit from Platypod, so this is great if you have the Platypod. If you don't have the Platypod, it's a great thing to go along with your Platypod. Gives you all those little attachments. And
Well,
doohickeys that
if you win
need.
it and you don't have a Platypod, you can
Yes.
buy one for half off.
Yes.
So that's
exactly.
part of the prize too. There.
And then the Nick collection. We're going to be giving away the Nick collection from DxO. And then also we're giving away On One, I believe, I'm not sure if we're giving away No Noise. Yes, we're giving away No Noise. So On One No Noise. Love that plugin. Super fast for doing noise reduction. And then we're also giving away a Lightroom book by a famous author some people might know.
That's it.
Just came out with the Lightroom book. So there you go. The Scott's Lightroom 7-point system book.
Hey, while we're talking about that, so you know Adobe Sneak Peek new features, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, so let me move this mic a little so it's not like right in my face. Okay, so I have this big Lightroom book that's 500 and something pages. It's the Everything About Lightroom book, and it's been out every version of, this is like the 15th edition or something of it, because I actually released the first one before the first version of Lightroom was public. They did a public beta for about a year, and I released multiple versions of my book, and then we finally launched it. Well, of course, they've sneak peeked the new masking stuff, which is fantastic. Eric,
Oh,
incredible. The new masking stuff is
the
done.
dream. Well,
so
besides
well.
a couple things, but the dream.
Yeah, it's really very there's one more
getting, like,
dream they have
super
yet to
close.
fulfill. They are so close, but the masking part is good. They're just missing one feature, which I'm going to write about on my blog on Lightroom Killer Tips later
we
this
talked about
week.
it the other day. It's just like
But
one thing.
but it's great. So anyway, I did, of course, I'm updated my big book. So my big giant Lightroom is called the Lightroom Classic Book for Digital Photographers, is completely updated with all the new features, not just the masking stuff, and it will be out in time. They tell me it will be out in time for the holidays. So you can go pre-order it right now if you want. It's over on Amazon, and maybe we'll get to see that page here in a minute. And I'll show you if it's the right one. But anyway, it's completely updated, and it's got all the goodies. And I got some great stuff. There it is, right there. So that's the one with that's the new cover. You can order it now. You can pre-order it now, and they said it will be out no problem for the holidays. So what's this right here? Ka-chow, right here. That's the one. So.
Gracefully brought into set.
Yes, so go and pre-order it now, and it will make a great holiday gift. It's weird that we're talking about holiday stuff, but it's October.
Yeah, it's there.
It's
we're there.
Rocktober.
You have to start
We're there. We're
ordering
already
now.
in fall.
Yeah, right? You got to start doing it now. All right. So one last bit of news. I'm going to read this. So forgive me for reading this, but I want to say it right, okay? So first, our dear friend and my co-blogger, Dave Williams. So you guys know Dave Williams, right? He's a Kelby One instructor, and he teaches at our conferences. He is a travel photographer. And recently, Dave basically quit his day job, sold everything, bought a van, customized the van from scratch to live in and be a studio, and now he's embarking on a new mission to visit as many Nordic countries as he this winter in this van, in this amazing van. And this series that he's going to be doing on YouTube is called Due North. All right, so he is basically guiding you on a tour through the Nordic countries. All right, he's documenting the entire journey on YouTube, and all the links are at Dave Williams. So the letter DaveWilliams.com, all one word, DaveWilliams.com. And at the website, there's a ton of information about the van, which is it's own thing. It has its own site and everything. And of course, you have a virtual tour ever. Just go to the Explorer tab and you can get a virtual tour of his crazy van and his crazy life. But we're very excited for Dave. He's a great guy. I love that portrait of him, by the way, with the, isn't that a great portrait?
That is a great portrait. Hey,
Like,
whoever
you know
put
this
that.
is his Tinder shot. You know. Am I right? This is his.
definitely.
Yeah, that's Dave looking like, like a
I
boss.
tell you what, though, the more we go, the lower you get in the chair.
I know. I don't know what's this. Somebody get me. Look, I'm looking at a chair that's probably the right one. Oh yeah. All
You
right.
know what? We have to set up this this Joe McNally clip and show that, and
Yes.
by then we'll be able to kind of like
All right.
switch it out.
Okay, but I just want to say before you see the Joe McNally clip, we wanted to show this last week and we weren't able to do it. We ran out of time. But it is last week we talked about what to expect and are you ready and how to deal with a bad critique. And so Joe is going to tell you a story about a critique he got. And when I heard this story, I was stunned, and it'll make everyone's critiques go easier today. So that's what the clip is about. All right, Eric, take it away, and I'm going to do
you
a
guys
chair
take it
swap.
away. This is Joe talking about what to expect out of critiques, what he expects.
Thank you.
So let's say you're being reviewed. You're being reviewed by another photographer. What do you want to get out of that review? When the review's over, what do you hope to get from that?
Again, I would like a no holds barred, just hand it to me right between the eyes, okay, what you think. Have I gone off the rails? What do I need to do differently? Do I need to refresh and redirect? What I'm seeking from a critiquer is potentially what I said initially here this evening, a path, okay, a signpost. You know, in some cases, it's a life preserver. Because I can tell you folks, I have been through literally years in my career where I go back over the course of say 12 months and I can barely find a good photograph that I was happy with. And the other thing that I think that you can take from a critiquer in terms of how they deal with you, the honesty, the kind of upfront nature of it, is to internalize that. In other words, don't be easy on yourself. You know, take a good hard look at what you're shooting before you release it, before you let it go. Because here's the thing, once it's on the internet, it's like, you know, you're basically saying, when you throw that photograph out there, this is the best I could do. Here it is, this is my best effort. So don't be casual about it. Because once it's out there, you know, like, fly away, little picture, go and find people who will like you. You know, once you let that picture go and it hits ink on paper or a screen, you know, there's no one there to defend it, right? You're not in the room. And I use this example. Can I riff for just a second here?
Riff, man.
I use this example in workshops. Ever been over to a neighbor's house where they're determined to show you every photograph they shot on their vacation? And it's interminable, you know, and you just start pounding alcohol just to get through it, you know? Which I noticed, a very smart touch, they're serving alcohol tonight. Awesome. And they forget one essential thing, because they're there with you, like, you know, see, Scott, see, look at this over here. Isn't that cool? And you're looking, and you're like, that's not cool. That's barely 3 pixels wide. What, you know? And they forget that your pictures have to speak independently of you. You are never going to be in the room to defend your photographs, generally speaking. Somebody's going to be able to react to it in any way, shape, or form. And they, honestly, in this day and age of everybody having an opinion and the internet is everywhere, people can say whatever they want about it. So be careful and internalize what the critiquer is saying to you and apply that to yourself. Be your own good critiquer from that point forward before you let your pictures go.
Now, Joe, at the beginning of that, you mentioned about like when you wanted it, what you would want from a critique is you want the honesty. Mm-hmm. And does it do anybody any good if you sugarcoat it?
No, and there's gems that you can find in a critique. I hark back to, there's a very powerful editor in my life and in photography named John Loengard. Maybe the most intelligent editor I ever worked for. He was a DOP at Life and a Life staff photographer. And I took a class from him. And here's the thing about a critiquer too, is like you never lose the fear. Like, I'm 61 years old now. If I went to see John, I'd still be scared shitless, you know, of showing him my work, because he's that good. And it took me a while to summon up the guts when he took over the leadership at Life Pictures to go seek him out with my portfolio. And he buzzed through it, Scott. I don't think he took, this is old school, Kodak Carousel. I don't think he took his button off his finger off the button of the carousel. It was like watching a movie of my pictures. And he just looked at me at one point, he laid off and he goes, "You know I'm a fast looker, right, Joe?" And this thing was like chewing through my slides like a lawnmower. And he came back to me and he goes, and I had just started experimenting with lighting at that time. And he looked at me and goes, "I think that's a path for you because there's more energy in those pictures than I'm seeing in your other stuff." I could have had a V8, I mean, that was important information for me to hear as a young photographer. He centered in on the area of my work that I was obviously devoting a lot of time, energy, and passion to, and he identified it within the core of everything else that I was shooting and said, there's potentially where you should go. That was really valuable.
So is that great? Joe is great.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's the thing with Joe, that's worth the price of admission a lot of times for me. I watch his classes and other people's classes like that, and it's like, oh my gosh, the wealth of information that's being passed, if you can accept it. And that's a big thing with critiques as well.
Right. And you should, if you're a Kelby One member, you owe it to yourself to go watch that class of Joe's.
Oh, absolutely.
It's incredibly insightful. The second thing is, if you're not a Kelby One member, you can join for a month, go watch it, or you can even buy, you can buy that.
Yeah,
buy
they
that
buy
critique.
that and they can join.
And you
whatever they
can
want.
join. It's cheap to join. It's probably cheaper to join than it is to own the class. But anyway, go watch that class of Joe's. It's just so good. Maybe we can get a link to it, like a short link to it or something on the break, which we're going to do now. And when we come back, we have about 20 photographers lined up to go on their critiques. So stick around. We're going to be going to those right after this. So don't go away.
An often overlooked but incredibly lucrative avenue for photographers is documenting bar and bat mitzvah ceremonies and their crazy parties. They produce more referrals than weddings and potentially steadier income, but where to begin? Because there are rules you need to know about Jewish customs, and lighting inside some of the older temples can be very, very tricky. Luckily, I can help you with all that. I have been photographing bar and bat mitzvahs in the Los Angeles area for 15 years, maybe even longer, and I can teach you everything you need to know. I'm Jefferson Graham, and I hope you'll join me for my latest class right here on Kelby One.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by B&H Photo, the professional source since 1973.
Hey, we are back. We're just kind of goofing off on the breaks. A couple things. You guys saw the little trailer for the portrait photography conference that's coming up. So I am teaching a workshop the day before. So if you go to the conference, you get to come a day early and do this workshop. And the workshop that I'm teaching, it's a pre-conference workshop, is called What Makes a Great Portrait Photo. And I was just telling Eric, it's all coming together. I'm very excited. I can't wait to teach it. But it's all coming together, and it's the day before. So November 1st would be my pre-conference, and it's included in your conference registration. So if you sign up early and you save all that money, you'll come a day early and hang out with me. And it's about the bigger picture of what makes a great portrait. It's F11. It's not that stuff. It is really the stuff that really is. These are the things that really matter.
F11.
Now, I do have a class at the conference where I'm giving 20 of my favorite portrait tips. That is the pragmatic, do this, do that. It's that kind of stuff. I got that.
Yeah.
That's a whole separate class. But the day one, I think for a lot of people will be worth the entire conference, because it really breaks it down. Of here's the things that make and
I think that's what's so cool about these conferences, because that'll be worth the admission, but then you have other classes like Maribel's class where you're going to get inspired to do stuff and inspire your creativity, and we've got so many classes beyond that. So I find that that's a common theme with people that come to our conferences. They say this class was worth the admission, but then they go, oh yeah, but this class was too.
And so
at the end of the day,
yeah.
I feel like I got a deal because every class was worth what I paid for it. You know, just that one class.
And Maribel is going to be there, so you're going to get to see her again.
I am going to be there, and I'm happy dancing because I'm so excited.
See,
it's my first portrait conference,
I love
y'all.
I love it.
She's infectious right there, right? And you don't want to use that word today, but it's that happiness.
I'm excited.
Think about that.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think in general, a portrait conference, you go in with one or two specific areas of interest, and because you have access to all these other classes, you learn so much more than you were initially intending to learn.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
So it's a nice added bonus.
That's why we tell people, if you're into a particular thing, don't just go and watch that class. Go try classes that are outside your thing, because people fall in love with genres they never thought they would do, or with aspects of photography. All right, let's get rolling. We'll do some shout outs on the break. And Dave Williams was watching. He said that shot that we showed is not his Tinder shot. He said that's his LinkedIn shot. His Tinder shot is way different.
We'll just leave it at that.
We'll just leave it at that, and here we go. All right, you ready? Here we go. Here's our first of our things. Eric, get the timer going, because we got a lot to cover today.
All right.
Okay, you can't just say woo to the first shot, because that's what I said when I saw it. Here we go.
Ah.
Now, let me say this before I turn it over to Maribel. Mm-hmm. How did this photographer take this shot? I like this shot. The third shot is very heartwarming and charming and well done, but it is such a vastly different style.
Very different.
Like if I hired you to take a portrait, I want it to look like this or this, and this is really nice. I don't want to take anything away from this, but it is so completely different. Oh, I need to tell you guys watching before we dive into this. So we don't know any of the photographers' names. This could be a male or female photographer. I have no idea. Yeah. We don't know anything. That's the whole idea behind these. We don't look at the names. I have the computer give them numbers, so we don't know. Because sometimes friends send in stuff. I don't want to see a friend, because then I'd have to like disqualify myself and say, Eric, you tell them they're awful.
Yeah, because you do create a little bit of a bias with that. Now, that's a nice thing to get friends in your life that can kind of get past that, where they don't have that bias.
Right, people that you trust that are
But that's what we're trying to do here is unbiased, like there's no influence. It is your photo. Right. Because that's really what everybody's seeing is your photo.
And so I could be saying also, hey, he did a good job with the lighting. It could be a she. We don't have any idea. All right. So, Maribel, what are your thoughts here now that Eric and I have kind of spilled our beans?
So definitely going in sequential order, I thought that the third photo would have something to do with a little bit of surrealism, a little bit of kind of added effects, and it's vastly different. And so I think they should probably be critiqued differently. This portrait here is beautiful. I love the expression of both mom and child. I like how the back is, overblown, but yet you still see a lot of detail in the subjects. They're not in silhouette. I do like the curtain. I think that maybe, I like the curtain. I like the way the curtain kind of. I like the shadows and things on the curtains. The other images, I think, so that one is really pretty. The light is really pretty. I think what's kind of drawing my eye is to the hands.
Yes, yes,
The hands
yes.
is not the same color or color tone or has the same effect. And it's a little too bright compared to her face.
All of that.
And her expression, she kind of looks like, hurry up and take this picture.
Yes.
But aside from that, the makeup is beautiful and the light is beautiful too.
But the makeup is the muerte
Yes.
kind of.
Yeah.
You don't want that subject smiling. They're
No,
the
but
face
you
of
can see
death.
it in her eyes. Like she's sort of half grinning, half not. But you can also see it in her eye. Like her eyes looks like, let's just get the shadow going.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a great critique about the skin tone and all that.
It was the hand there. It's just
It should be the same skin tone and darker.
Tone of the,
it breaks the tone.
Yeah. I thought this one was okay. It was pretty. She doesn't seem cold to me for some reason. She doesn't seem cold, but I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay.
Oh, I love this one. This was my favorite. Now, it's okay to have different opinions, but just understand that, Mary Bell, yours is wrong. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally joking. No,
I think that's my only critique.
All right, but I got to tell you,
consistency of the photos.
Okay, I do want to tell you. I do want to say this. I'm a little biased on this picture because I think this was done in a studio and I know how hard it was to do. So I'm seeing something in this photo I'm not supposed to see. We're not supposed to count how hard it was to create. This person wasn't outside and there's a flash behind them and all. This person was not outside. So I'm looking at it and I'm looking at the color toning and I'm looking at the effects of the, whatever they used to blow the smoke around and all. And they also kept the exposure of the candles and all. So if I take myself out of that,
take the technical out of it.
If I take the technical out of it, then this one I think the lighting is so beautiful, but it has its own issues. But anyway, we've run out of time, but that's a good start, I think.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, they're all good photos.
They're all good photos. This is a good photographer, straight up.
Keeping down that path. I mean, the one feedback, the looks are a lot different. It's like not a consistent like.
Well, these two look consistent to me.
Yeah,
like
the first two.
These look like the same photographer.
Kind of, but that third one's a detraction, which is not a problem. It's just that's when you're having 3 images. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, we'll go to another image. But before I want to read a comment from John Dukes. John Dukes says, Mary Bell is super talented. So happy that you are back.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that
thank
nice?
You. What? Stop it. No.
What?
But keep going. But stop.
All right, let's take a look at another one. Here we go. Let's go. Here we have 3 images. And here we go. 1. And number 2. And number 3.
I mean, I'll let you guys say. I'm not pushing that. I just say that.
Well,
they're
I'll do some of the technical
pictures.
stuff. The subjects are all fine. They're all nice looking, attractive, happy people. These they have a very shot with my iPhone snapshotty look to them overall. And
We're just kind of bathed in light, not sculpted.
well, first off, your skin tone's way off here. Just has got a cold skin tone. It's not blue. It's not cold, but it's not good. And that's like basic stuff. You need to warm this photo up a bit to make the person look a little healthier. So let me just pop a side by side, so you can see that skin tone is not good. The lighting's not good. It's not bad. It's not terrible, but there is a lot of light on her chest. This is what Mary Bell was talking about in the last one, where there's a bright area that's leading you away. An easy fix for that would be to go to the graduated filter, And let me just hit cancel all changes. Yes. So get the graduated filter and darken that area up. And that's just, I'm the technical, I'm going to turn it over to Mary Bell in here. Our subject here, the same thing. It's too bright down in her chest and her, what's that word I'm looking for? What's that great word?
Décolleté.
Her décolletage.
Décolletage.
The décolletage is a bit bright. But also, her smile, she looks like she's clenching her teeth. Like it doesn't look like a natural smile. It looks clenched, and the background isn't out of focus enough. It's like you're kind of on your way, but you're a ways there. You're going down the right path. You're just not quite there yet. And the same thing with this one. The cropping is weird. The color isn't right either. The color is not what's the word I'm looking for? The color is not warm enough. So
it's all a little cool there.
Yeah, it's a little cool. The lighting is very flat. But
like
Mary
pale.
Bell, let's hear from you.
Okay, so immediately when I see this image, my eye goes right to that belly dancer in the back there.
Yes.
I'm not
over the shoulder
understanding-
because it's the brightest.
Yeah, I'm not understanding why there's like "Be Sexy" in yellow up there. Maybe the photographer could have just taken 2 steps to the right and not have that item, that poster back there. Perhaps, maybe this is part of a larger image, and the
Maybe she is a
cropped
belly
it in.
dancer. Maybe she's.
Perhaps she is a belly dancer,
Yeah.
but that does not tell me. This image doesn't tell me that she's
Yeah.
a belly dancer. Besides, it looks like a mistake. It looks like it was
Yeah.
just composed wrong.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's part of a larger image and it was cropped in. Yeah. To critique, I would have just moved over a little bit and show more of her being a belly dancer instead of the actual poster, because you can't even read much of the poster anyway.
Yeah.
For the other images, that one I think is pretty. I think it's missing some movement. Perhaps some movement of the hair would have helped a little bit. Maybe they can put her in a spot where there's a little bit of breeze. If there's no breeze, maybe she can have movements with her arms. Another thing that's distracted me is her arm over where it's kind of bent behind her. For the future, maybe push her arm so that you see a separation between her arm and the body.
Yeah, it's a weird crop overall.
Yeah, it makes her look a little bit square. Underneath the armpit, there's like this little thing there. I would have just cloned that out.
Yeah.
Next image.
Yeah. Yep.
And that one, like you said, it's a little cool, but also just to clean it up, that triangle on her sweater, that Argyle sweater, is distracting. I would have maybe cropped it in or shown it more, made it more even compositionally.
Yeah, it's all of these kind of have a weird crop. I mean, it's a composition issue, and it looks as though this person is trying to take either senior portraits or do some professional work. You got to look at the work of people that are making a living on this and really kind of study that. And we talk about this a lot, that one of the best things that photographers can do is go find someone who's doing the type of work that you want to do and really start looking at that. And I think that would help a lot with these photos. Mm-hmm. None of these photos, you had 3 photogenic people, but your composition and your lighting and your lack of detail you got to kind of go woodshed or something.
Yeah, I mean, they're okay. They're okay photos.
They're okay.
Yeah.
And if that's what you're shooting for, that's what you got.
But that's also, if you're on your journey and you're just starting out, well, then you're already at that point. Now it's a matter of doing the things like you guys talked about.
Yeah. You got to take it up a notch. Okay, we're going to look at a whole bunch more in this next segment, so stick around. We got some comments from you guys, and we will be back in just a minute. Don't go away.
Hey everybody, Eric Kuna here, and I'm here with my new class. It's called Telephoto Astrophotography for Beginners. What we're focused in this class is those narrow field, deep space astrophotography shots. And as you can see, we're here in light polluted Tampa, Florida, and we still can capture stunning, amazing images. So anybody can do this, especially if it's something where you have a camera, you have a telephoto lens, you have a tripod. We're gonna show you in this class the little things that you need to add to start making shots like this. So join me in my new class on kelby1.com.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Canon.
Hey, we're back. Scott Kelby here with Eric Kuna and our special guest in studio, Mary Bell. A comment from Tim Oliver. Tim says, Scott and Eric are so right about trying different courses. I have had an opportunity to try Milky Way shots, though a little late in the season while in the Madeira Canyon. And Eric's courses have been very helpful with a subject I normally wouldn't attempt. So he's going there soon. Tim says, crossing his fingers.
Awesome. Well,
But that's
good
cool,
luck,
right?
Tim. Yeah.
Someone new's trying Milky. Hey, Eric's the one that got me to try the Milky Way.
Yeah,
Eric.
yeah.
And you know what it was? Very first time it worked.
Yes. It's amazing. It's amazing. If you just set up your camera with these settings, it just
Yeah,
boom.
it was great though to actually see it happen. You know.
Yeah.
'Cause anyway, but all right, let's move on. Here we go. Mary Bell, you ready?
Ready?
I'm going to let you start off
Give it
with
to
these
me.
three here. We got number 1, and number 2, and contestant number 3.
So can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I'm not a portrait photographer, but going back to the previous one to this one,
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about earlier about sculpting of light and that there's a little bit more of that here. Like we're starting to get away from just flat, like snapshot to like, I'm gonna sculpt light. Now you guys can start critiquing how that happened.
All right.
Yeah, these for
Mary Bell.
sure seem all equally intentional in terms of lighting and posing and expression. This one is, the only thing that bothers me here, I would say, is the cropping of the fingers.
Yes.
So close to the edge.
That's the first thing I saw.
Yeah. And the head, just a little bit. Either crop a little more on the head or leave a little bit more room.
Exactly.
He looks very, very tight.
Yeah, I have no problem with cropping the head. It's a very contemporary look. But if you crop it, it's got to look like it was intentional.
Intentional, right.
And his looks like I didn't do it quite right. Like people would look at this photo and go, "Oh, that's such a nice shot, Bob," or whatever the guy's name in the photo.
Yeah.
"Oh, it's too bad he cut off the top of your head." If you don't cut up enough to where people know it was intentional, you know, because then they don't even notice it if you do it right. If you do it right, they don't notice the cropping of the head. If you do it wrong, it becomes the thing.
Yeah, I feel like he could have cropped a little bit more towards the on the legs.
Yep, that was the next
and,
thing. Oh
and
man,
open it up on top.
we are on the same page.
Yeah. This one's beautiful.
This
I
is
love
beautiful.
the hair lights. I love the separation from the background.
That's a very professional look.
She has great expression. It's a little hot on the nose. Beautiful catch light in the eyes. The only maybe critique that I would give is a little wrinkling of the shirt there that could have been fixed in post or
Yep.
with the seamer. I think it's great.
It's Mary Bell. It's too late for the steamer. It's too late for that. But
It can definitely.
But a
yeah.
good point is fixing that stuff on set would have been a lot easier.
sure.
yes, it would have
And
absolutely.
faster.
That's a great picture though.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
it
that'd
is.
be great for LinkedIn.
I love that when you look at it, you can kind of tell a little bit about her. And that's what I think. So one of the marks of a great portrait is you look at the photo and you can say, all right, if I had lunch with her, what would she be like? You can kind of get an idea, which I think is really good.
Oh, he's so adorable. I love
Right?
his expression. Love his expression. I love how he's coming out. Just a little bit of light just hitting him just right. I love it. He looks so cozy and warm and inviting in that sweater.
Yep.
I don't have too much to say about this one. I'm going to throw it to you guys.
Oh no, I agree
That's
with you.
my favorite.
I agree with you with all of them. This is my favorite, but I do like that one. The only thing that I would have done if it were me, and this is just being nitpicky, I would have had him turn his head a little towards the right, as from the camera view, to get so there's a little bit of light hitting his eye, and I would have wanted a tiny bit of light. I still want to keep it dark and dramatic like this, but a tiny bit more of light, to more of a Rembrandt light on the other side, I think would have been nice. But I'm nitpicking. This person, he or she, is doing a wonderful job, so I don't want to nitpick it. It's great stuff. Let's see, where are we at? Here, we did those. Let's do these. These are naughty. Let's do these.
Uh-oh.
Oh, they're not terribly naughty. They're not like, yeah, these aren't bad. Okay, Maribel? They have a very painterly quality to them, right? They've had a lot of effects put on them.
They have a lot of effects put on them, for sure. I see some atmosphere added in post.
Yep.
There's a lot of colors in this one. I'm not.
Yeah, part of her hair is blue, part of her hair is like magenta.
Yeah, you've got the green in the back there. You have blue. Yeah, my eye is going everywhere initially, so I'm not sure what the purpose is. This a boudoir? Is this like a sexy? I'm not.
Yeah, it looks like a glamour kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
glamour painting.
it's too much. There's too much going on with
Gotcha.
the outfits and the hair. Maybe less on the white gradation.
Yeah, the white vignette.
Yeah,
I'm not sure that I like this white vignette look. Eric, what are your thoughts?
I don't like it at all.
Mary Bell?
That's just
No, I hate it.
Yeah,
just
yeah, like
don't
this.
like it.
This one is the far and away the best.
Well, you know
'cause it
why?
doesn't have all the crazy
you know why I
stuff.
think I don't like it draws your eyes away from where you're wanting to
Yeah.
focus
I
the
know,
eyes.
Yeah.
I know, but what this person would probably tell
I
you
know.
is that the clients love it because it's different. But we're not looking at it from how a client would look at it. We're looking at it how a photographer would critique it. If this was a friend of mine and they sent me this, I would say, get rid of the white vignette.
Yeah.
Just get rid of it. It's a very dated, funky look. And there's so many colors going on here, and that gradient that is going over her face, it looks like one of the stock gradients from the Nick collection. So the Nick collection has it was popular 10 years ago, this particular gradient. It's still in the Nick collection, but it's a very popular
Yeah,
gradient.
because the other thing is if you go through them, if you get past all the effects and then just go down to the photo.
Yeah, there's a good photo under
Yeah.
there.
There's a good photo under there
It's
that
not-
just needs some
yeah,
work.
It's pretty decent. I think they were trying to do that to give it, one, a painterly effect, which you can achieve with light, and two, to minimize distraction. And they could have done that while shooting, removing things from the frame.
Yeah, so this is not a photography problem. The photographer knows their stuff. This is and again, this is so, critiques are so opinion based. But it's it'd be interesting to hear what the thoughts are about that white vignette in the comments.
Yeah.
So if you could kind of let us know what you're thinking there
I'm
in the
curious,
comments.
too.
But
not my
the white vignette thing is really turning me off. The over processing is, but I think the photographer, they know what they're doing. And they're getting, reasonable poses, and the lighting's pretty good. The lighting's actually good all the way around.
This last image has like a white stripe on her derriere.
Oh,
which is
yeah.
a little distracting.
Yeah, good use of that word.
Well, yeah. Plus,
Under
the floor
derriere.
is well lit compared to the rest of the image as well.
Yeah. And the comments are starting to come in. The vignette is too much. Fred
Too
saying, hey,
much.
the vignette is. Yeah, so, but anyway, I would just say to that photographer, rethink that. You're a good photographer.
Yeah,
and
rethink it, 'cause,
it.
you know, maybe this is just me, but sometimes those things are gimmicky. Yeah, that's the only word I could, like, it's like a gimmicky. And I think that does speak to what you were talking about, where I think people like it sometimes because it's like they've never seen it before.
Right.
But they don't actually they like it just because they've never seen it before,
Right.
not because it's good.
Right, and images like that generally don't stand the test of time.
Correct.
Like you get tired
Yes,
of them
that's
quickly.
like glamour shots where they had those neon backgrounds behind
Oh,
you and all
yeah.
that,
Oh,
and then like,
yikes.
whoa, like why did we do that? Well, it
Yeah.
was so different at the time,
At
but
the
it looks
time.
terrible.
All right, let's roll on. Here we go. So we have sports portraits. I love this one.
Yeah,
I love
that's
it,
my
love
favorite.
it. That is really, really well done.
Still a little.
And I'm looking at what's on my screen versus what I'm seeing on the studio monitors, and you can see the background nicely. There's a concrete background behind him.
Yep.
So there is some light falling on there. This one, this needs some post work, and what it is you lit it right. And I got to give the photographer, before I give them heat, I want to give them credit. You didn't let the light spill onto the ground. And that is a typical
That's
thing I
hard.
see. You didn't let this, so you did that really right on the money. But right where the H is and all, it's just so bright.
Bright. Yeah,
And
it's
it's not
all
as bright as
blasted.
his face. We got to bring out his face. We got to pull back. The problem is this: if you go into post and you lower those whites, they turn gray. So this is where you would have needed to flag the flash when you took it. You needed to put something in the flash to where it lit his top half and not so brightly. And this is not easy to do. I've done on-location athlete portraits like this, and it is a lot of messing with the mask. Now, he's lit from behind, so there's two lights. There's one light coming from behind. The light coming from behind, look how it's lighting his leg, but it's not really getting his arm and stuff that well. So that light needed to be better aimed.
Yeah.
The front light, but you got to understand, I still like this shot. I
Yeah,
still
I mean,
think,
that is a great starting point.
yeah.
And that's where I think you're saying, if you could work that,
Yeah.
boy.
Now, when the sun is going down and you have a limited amount of time, I've been out there where you're trying to get it while you still have clouds and the sky doesn't turn dark, and you don't always have the time to fix it. But this would be worth fixing in post. His wrist that's bent is a bit bright. His jersey's a bit bright. Maribel, what say you?
I was looking at this image, and the color toning, I feel like the color on him doesn't quite match the background, and I think that would be just an easy fix, because let's say it looks to me like there's stadium lights are shining on him, and stadium lights come on when it's dark out. So and clearly it's gray out. So maybe adding a little bit of blue to the overall scene, maybe the background, would marry the two images more together and make the off-camera flash look less intentional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other thing is gelling or temperature balancing the light.
Or just throw a quarter cut of CTO over the front of that light. It would be warmer, and because what it is we're used to seeing white light in a studio situation. We don't even think about it. It just goes right past us. When we see white light outdoors, it looks unnatural. And I think that's kind of what you're talking about when you're talking about the color toning.
Right.
If you'd have put a CTO on there, maybe a half cut this late in the day, it would have balanced the color. It would have looked more natural. And then you could put a tone over the whole image. Also, why do we have power lines in this photo?
Oh yeah, we don't have to have power lines.
Yeah,
in
do we
those
have to?
photos.
Are power lines part of the story here? I would get rid of those. But anyway,
Or
yeah,
that,
there's some
or
issues.
that broken fence.
All right,
line
Maribel,
as well,
how
if we're
about
gonna
this
fix
one?
that.
Yeah, I think this one is okay. This one's fine. I just wish he had more of a intense emotion in his face. Like, is he really is he charged? Like if I were the photographer, everything is great. Now I would work on his expression.
Good.
Yeah.
And lastly?
This one's okay. I'm not crazy about the chin down photos.
I know.
But you know, she's a golfer, so I mean, it's okay. It's good. I mean, it's a little hot on the face and maybe underexposed on the arm. I would balance those out a little bit.
All right, there's one other thing that I would try. When I shot this shot, I would have taken 2 shots. One of her, and then taken a second shot with the club head and the ball in focus, and then merge them together.
Yeah.
You could merge them together in 30 seconds because it's such a large object that it's distracting. In fact, I think I might have had her step back a step from where the camera position is now. And you would have want to shot this on a tripod and rather than handheld, so you can do that really easily. Move your focus point and you're done. But and also the light is a bit bright on her. It's very flashy. And that's fine for some athletic portraits, but in this case, it's a little flashy. But
I do like though the technique and what that then is telling. Like that's what it would look like if you were looking up at a golfer about to swing and hit a ball.
Oh no,
Yeah.
this is great.
Like,
And I just
cool.
want to make this clear: we are nitpicking the
Yes,
lighting and
nitpicking.
stuff.
Yeah.
I love what this photographer is
But
doing.
that's the thing. This shot could be great.
I like the
Right.
angle.
It's good.
Yeah.
That first shot that we spent a lot of time on could be great.
Yeah,
and
these
it's
are
good.
they're all so close.
They're so
Yeah.
close.
Right. This same lighting and same everything with a great expression, like Mary Bell said, would take this to a whole nother level. This one with a little tweaking on the lighting and cleaning up some of this other junk would take that to another level. Same thing here.
Yep.
So I love the direction this photographer's going. You're really going in the right direction and you're doing some good stuff. You can, but it wouldn't be hard for you to take it up a notch.
Yes, absolutely.
I agree.
And you know what? I've worked with football players in those situations. Dude, you get that guy to yell or scream or you could get such great expression from a football player
Yes.
because they're not scared to go.
Right. Angry. Exactly.
true.
Yeah.
Right? Imagine him
For
with a
sure.
really great,
Right.
or something really solemn where it looks like he's getting ready and he's, thinking. I mean, you can go the other way, but it's Mary Bell kind of really, he's not really giving you anything.
Yeah.
It's
He's
not
kinda
bad.
looking over to the side,
but-
holding the football.
Great pose. If you
Yeah.
could change the expression, even right where he's looking and everything, because the lighting is really on
Light
it.
is beautiful.
Yeah. So anyway, but good job. I don't want to be too nitpicky. Coming up next, we have more of them. We're going to have to speed up things here because we're going to run over. I can tell you that right now. But anyway, let's roll on to some more when we come back from this break.
We got to call the network.
Call the network.
Have you ever gone to the movies and after spending your $30 on popcorn and a ticket, you walked out of the theater thinking, man, that movie was just an excuse to sell toys? But I have started to think that maybe I can look at those toys a different way. And I am a storyteller at heart. And the stories I want to tell are based on those cinematic universes that I love so much. So maybe I could use those toys to tell the stories that I want to tell. The only limit is my imagination. The best part is, you could do the same thing. So join me for my class on Unlocking Storytelling with Toy Photography, only on Kelby One.
Would you believe us if we told you that you could fit studio lighting in your pocket? Well, Lytra has made it possible. Lytra is a global award-winning brand that designs and manufactures professional-grade camera lights that are compact, rugged, and waterproof. Whether you're using Lytra gear in a photo studio or underwater, Litra's mission is to provide content creators with flexible and unlimited lighting tools that can mount on any camera, anywhere. Their lights come with a high CRI or color rendering index, making them some of the most color accurate lights in the industry. Due to the light's compact and rugged design, photographers are able to use the lights in ways that their studio lighting never could. Litra has also made multiple lighting accessories available to fit your every need as a creator. Whether you're shooting portraits, nailing a product shot, or even flying your drone, they have got you covered. Litra enables photographers and filmmakers to focus on their craft and create something beautiful. What will you create?
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're looking at images. I was trying to find a photo. The Guru Award winner, Best of Show, took a picture of his award-winning stuff, and he put it on LinkedIn today, and it was in my feed, and I can't find it now. So I was hoping to show it to you guys.
I can't wait to see it.
It was we just watched Dave's toy photography class, and this guy did toy photography because it's really becoming a thing. This whole recreating these scenes. His scene looked like it was a cinematic frame taken from the movie of the Mandalorian with Baby Yoda, and it was so brilliantly done. Like the judges were like, "That's it." I mean, it was like it looked so real. Okay, well, we have to get back to doing what we were doing, so let's do that. So let me get back to I wasn't able to find it. Here we go. Here's our next one. Here we go. Maribel?
Very pretty.
Right?
Yeah, I love the whole story. I love the styling.
Oh yeah.
So I love whatever's in the back window there. That's pretty cool. It's like a cracked back window.
Yep.
You've got shooting through glass with water. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, so like they fogged up the windows
Right.
and put beads of water. Yeah.
I would love to shoot there.
Oh.
I would absolutely love it. It's beautiful. I love the color toning. It's got green, a little bit of orange, and then a nice complementary blue. Beautiful.
Great light throughout.
Great light.
All of these have great light. But now contrast this to the photographer that we were showing earlier, where we were kind of critical of his or her work, where we were like, you need to look at other people's work and what they're doing.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking. This is that whole different level from what we were seeing. It's still three photos of women. They're all kind of environmentally type of portraits, but these are on a completely different level.
Yeah.
And so when we say you need to look at other photographers to see what they're doing, I mean, these are just so nicely all pulled off. It's everything too. It's the color, the lighting, the toning.
A nice sense of environment
Yeah,
too.
you get drawn into these images.
Yeah. So anyway, great job. I don't even know what to say. Anybody have any critiques?
No.
Just keep doing what you're
more of
doing.
that.
Keep
Killing
go.
it.
Go. All right, here we go. Here's three more. In this first one, it looks like they were trying to go for the look of that gentleman that we saw earlier that we liked, where he was really dimly lit and there was a little bit of light. But this is just straight underexposed.
It's too dim.
And the position of the light is low instead of up high. When you light people down low, that's what they do for scary movies.
Yeah.
You want to make somebody look scary and unattractive, light them from below. And I understand that you want dramatic light. This is just underexposed.
It definitely
bad light.
looks like a frame from like those suspense horror movies where it's like, shot on some Super 8 film, and it's just like kind of like but it's not well lit.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like there.
So I have a quick thing to say about this portrait. I absolutely love it. I love it. I love it for those same reasons. My self-portrait work tends to be a little darker and moodier, emotionally gripping sometimes, and that's what I see here. I absolutely love her expression.
Oh, now hold on, Maribel.
Uh-huh.
I agree. Her expression's great.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the monitor that you're looking at.
Yeah.
Can you see the monitor?
Yeah, mine's dark. Mine's zero
Your
dark
monitor
30.
is overexposed by 2 stops.
Oh, okay.
All right, now I'm gonna come over to your set. Hold on. No, I want you to see what we're seeing. I'm gonna come over to your set. So hang on just a second. I want you to see it on my laptop.
It is a little underexposed.
Oh no.
sure.
No. I want you to see what we're seeing. Yours is 2 stops brighter than mine. So
Yeah,
hang on.
I can
I'll be there in a
actually
minute.
see her face on your monitor all the way over here, where mine looks like it's 0 dark 30.
Oh, it's getting real. He's coming over. He's walking. Oh, yeah, it's a lot darker.
It's 2 stops darker than what
Yeah,
you're seeing.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I see it now. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. It's 2 stops darker. I
Well,
also
but
see on her
there's
chest.
a great point that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just underexposed because when you exposed it correctly
It looks a lot
on that
better.
monitor,
Right.
I mean, it's like, hey, that looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks a whole lot better.
For sure. There's also some light on her chest. If it would have just been on her face a little more. But yeah, I see it.
Now, you know what I like, Mary Bell?
Mm-hmm.
That you're not afraid to disagree with us.
Oh yeah.
I love that.
Great.
Okay, so we didn't ask you on the show to because Eric and I can agree with each other all day long.
But you're totally right. Like the underexposure is what I couldn't get by, but I do like the other stuff. I like that. I think it does look very moody, and I like
Yeah.
it being moody.
Right, but I don't like the lighting, not even
yeah,
a
I
lick.
mean, it definitely has like a horror dark, like it's got a
Right, but-
very dark tone.
Right, but now take that black and white image that we saw of that guy and apply that lighting to this, because that underlighting is just you could say it's not very flattering, but maybe the idea wasn't to be flattering.
Right.
So I don't want to spend all day on this. I
Yeah.
kind of like this one. This is my favorite. I'm not crazy about the cropping, but it's kind of interesting. I like when you look at the photo and you can kind of figure out what the person might be like.
The hair, I can't stop looking at it. That one square hair.
Is it this one that goes, whoa? Is it this one that goes, yeah, you could
Yeah.
get rid of that very easily. There's a program that gets rid of stuff.
Yeah, you said it creates like a square.
Yeah.
And it's weird
Yeah.
with the other lines.
But what do we think of this one?
It's exposed correctly. I would like to see more separation in her outfits and her like her arms and stuff like that, because it looks a little square.
The whole photo looks like arms. Like the arms overtake the photo.
Yeah. Maybe if she pulled her neck up, then you could see some neck, because her shoulder is leaning almost on her mouth.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
But this looks like a shot that would have been, that if you recropped it as a horizontal shot instead of a vertical portrait style shot, you could get rid of so much of those arms. I mean, they almost look like legs. They're so long.
Yeah, it's the styling.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that shoulder's really propped up.
All right,
Just
so Mary
dropping
Bell,
that
what would you
shoulder.
tell this photographer if you had to give them, they said, okay, what should I do? What would you tell them?
I would say keep that first image, keep harnessing your, if you want to go dark, go dark, and but make sure that you're lighting the correct way. If the light would have just been like 2 inches up, it would have been much more of a less opposing image. Like, I loved it, but you guys didn't. So yeah, either harness the darkness or not.
Embrace it or not.
Yeah, but overall, I think the other 2 images, just some quick cleaning.
I'm looking at your screen, Mary Bell. Yours may be 3 stops brighter.
Yeah, if I block the light, it does help, but still, it's dark.
And they can probably correct it in post a little bit too.
Yeah. You could do some stuff in post to help that. All right, let's roll on. Here we go.
Next
3.
one.
These are all nice. I think you're showing too much environment. Like, do I need to see these bushes over here and all? Like, if you kind of just still cropped in and got some of the water and some of the the bridge and all.
I don't. that one and this, I'm not a portrait photographer, they don't look like they even like each other. I don't know. They just got married. and
They
they're,
are
like,
standing quite far away.
And I think it's because you're trying to balance the environment, and that's where a 70 to 200 would have been a better choice there.
Yeah, well, just cropping in.
This is like a tall crop. It's a vertical crop. It should be cropped vertically.
Right, that would help.
Yeah.
All right, and then this one's nice, but unfortunately, it's window light, and so you're getting her décolletage lit as well as her face, or maybe more, and her stomach very bright and all, and a little gradient, a little graduated filter would fix that right up.
She's got some great arms.
She does. She works out. Yeah.
The flowers, man. At first, I thought it was part of her dress flowing back, and then I saw that there were flowers. They're a little distracting.
Well, we can crop that. We can crop it. Just this is a little bit of post-production, and you have a stronger photo. Now, the photographer probably
all
tell you,
these photos
I wanted
could
to
be stronger with cropping and moving in.
What is that quote? You want to take better photos, move closer, right?
Get tighter. Move closer.
Yeah, I mean that's and here's another situation where you're including all these out of focus firms and stuff, trying to create a frame, but it's not working.
A lot of tension in this couple.
But they don't look relaxed.
Right.
Like,
they don't look in love.
No.
Just say it, Eric. Just say it. Just say it what you're thinking.
and technically it's exposed. It's that whole thing of it. It's just kind of like this. These people just got married. I think, and they should look a lot happier.
You know what that reminds me? You know that movie? I think it's called Joe. He's like a stalker, and he's like stalking all the women that he likes, and he ends up killing one of them. That's what this reminds me of.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, that's Mary Bell. That's not what any wedding photographer wants to hear.
Boom, that's it.
Boom.
That's what I'm.
You know what? Your wedding photos make the guy look like a stalker who's going to kill his bride. That's the quote of the week, and the quote of the week is, "This wedding photo makes me look like." Reminds me of a stalker that's going to kill the bride. If that is you and you're out there watching this, yeah, but this, number one, you do have to work on your posing and expressions. You know who's really good at this? What is that guy's name? He used to be a Nikon ambassador. He's from New Jersey. And he was tremendous at posing. I sat at the Nikon booth, even though I was a Canon shooter. I sat at the Nikon booth and watched his presentation 2 or 3 times. And he did talk about making money a lot. He really was talking about the business end of it. But he did a whole thing on posing, and sometimes he actually brought a bride on stage. But a lot of time he was really great. I want to say his name was Doug something. Doug something.
Hey, Doug something.
Doug something. And he was so good at, like, you really, go watch Jerry Gihonis on posing the bride and groom. So Jerry has got a wonderful class on Kelby One. Anyway, I'm not trying to plug us. Well, actually, yes, I am.
Yeah, we are.
Watch
if
Jerry's.
you want to get better, that's how you get better.
Yeah, but his class is specific to brides and grooms, and it's wonderful. You really need to work on that. But then again, everything's a little too far away. Like, you can still be surrounded with trees in the background and stuff without making it this wide. It's just way too wide. And you got the crop in a very weird place for their legs. Like all of these have cropping issues. And this is not a couple in love. That guy looks like, did you ever see the movie Joe? Where?
Yeah, I'm telling you. That's how it feels.
Is that his sister over
like,
there? She's like 10 feet away.
Like,
we got some work to do. But I know what you're trying to do. And so I don't want to discourage you. You're trying to go for the big epic, that big epic wedding shot. But you got to find the right context for them. And unfortunately, this is not it. And they're so far away from each other that it's like, is that her brother? Is that the best man? Oh, is she cheating with the best man? We don't know. Anyway, I'm just totally making that up. Okay, we are going to we're going to take a short break.
Hey,
no, we're not breaking.
Are we breaking? Before we go to break.
No, we're not breaking.
Or wrapping.
No.
No.
Well, we're supposed to wrap, but we're going to have to go over by a few minutes.
But I did find that
we already are. Oh gosh, we were way over.
I found Jesse's photos that you were talking about.
Can you show them on Eric's?
Yeah.
Take a look on
my screen. There you go. Wait, no, that's not my screen. That's their screen. So.
Oh well, that's them.
But that's them.
Oh, that's awesome.
And see if he shows the actual photo.
Yeah.
Well, he did in that first one, but it's
Yeah,
a
in the first
photo
one was
of the
framed. There we
photo.
go. But when you see that thing in person, it is so well done. It is just spot on the money.
That's so cool.
And so, anyway, congratulations
There
to
you go.
Jesse. Well done. All right. So, Mary Bell, we're going to do what's called a lightning round, which is named after Kathy Perupsky, who is the lightning in a bottle. She just walked in the studio. That's why I said, hi, Kathy. So we're going to do a lightning round. So each person gets 7 seconds. No, we're just do them a lot quicker, and we say a lot less.
do
But
it.
I want to be able to get some more images, and we've been very wordy today. So here we go. 3 images. Let's go. Two out of 3 of these I really like.
I really like that one.
Yeah,
I really
me
like
too.
this one.
Yeah.
I love
like
that they
that
did
one.
something so interesting with
Yeah.
the lighting, and I
The
like
dappled
I like
light
her, and I like
really
her
works.
expression.
Yeah, I like her pose.
Yeah, like the pose. She looks shocked. It's not badly done, but she literally looks like shocked. Like what?
Yeah, and that K in the background is killing me.
Yeah,
Oh, that K is bad.
Is just in a bad
And you need
spot.
to move her over a little bit, which you can pick up those things and move them on the wall in Photoshop, right? She's also too close to the background, so you're seeing an unsightly shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. This one needs some work. This is great.
Yeah.
This needs some work. I like this.
That's not bad. Yeah.
I like the lighting's flattering. I like her pose. Yeah, that's good. All right.
dress is pretty.
So that was a perfect lightning round. Let's go.
I really like that first one. That was cool.
Yeah, the first one was cool.
Ooh.
Maribel,
I wonder if this guy's a self-portrait artist.
you think it's him and all?
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah. I like the symmetry of that one.
Yeah.
It's okay. I don't have anything, a little more catch light in the eyes. And, it's all right. I like it.
All right. You know
It's
what
a
it
little
is?
blasted with light.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the shadow that's casting on his nose here is not a good shadow. So I would just say I see where you're going with your lighting. Keep working on it because you're on your way.
Well, and look at the first one and how blue it is, the light and all
Yeah.
that stuff, and then look at the next one. It's just like you got to balance
And
the
then it's-
light, and you're
Yeah.
blasting the light.
But the shadows are kind of
Yeah.
funky.
I think they can all be nice black and whites.
Yeah, that might help. It'll certainly help your color problems. All right, here we go. He's naked. Maribel?
I like the lighting. The lighting is cool. I would have not shown the elbow towards the camera, and I
Yep.
would have shown the other hand.
All right.
This one's okay. I think that I would have worked with her expression a little more. And this light is beautiful.
Yeah.
He has a great physique.
It definitely accentuates that.
Yeah.
The only thing I would do is there's a hot spot on his head. Just pull that hot spot back. You don't want to get rid of the highlight. You want to keep the highlight, but it's overly bright. I'd rather his face be overly bright than the crown of his head. But it's very nice,
Yeah.
and I like it. And I don't know if you noticed that's his butt. He's naked.
I
So,
did.
He's not. I'm sure you did.
I noticed.
Reminds me of myself, that picture. That looks like I've got that kind of build. You can't tell because of the shirt on the
Yeah.
outside. But all right, here we go.
Layers. Ooh.
Well, I know, right?
I like that second one.
I like the third one.
Yeah.
Third one.
The first one isn't bad either.
It's not bad.
But
Not
that's
my,
that
not my
one.
favorite of them.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like a detective.
beautiful.
It looks like you're telling the client, "Look, lady, I can't take this job.
Yeah, there's
I'm
a
too
whole
close.
story behind
I'm
that.
too
I mean,
close."
there's, like, you just look at that photo and there's stories that come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Print-worthy for sure.
Yeah. And there's enough of his face lit that you can see some character and some without, it's, the shadows are mysterious and all. It's very nice.
Sure. Yeah, that one's pretty too. I
Yeah?
like the light streaming in.
Yeah. Yay. Yay, you,
Yeah,
photographer.
that second one is shadows tell the story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's
All right, just a few more here. We're in the lightning round. We're going. Guys, got my glasses. Give me my glasses back. So, go ahead, Mary Bell.
I think the last one, it was overexposed. You can see it with her hair. Either that or it's, and it looks a little blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The white balance is off.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's properly exposed on my screen. You're seeing everything two stops
that's
brighter.
right. I
I'm
keep
sorry.
forgetting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to work on that.
I like his expression.
I like the exposure better on your screen over there. What I'm seeing here.
Yeah, I like his expression. His too.
So these are Peter Hurley style headshots, right? The solid white background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay.
They're not lit Peter Hurley style
they're not,
as well.
yeah.
No.
Right.
They're trying.
Yeah, but what I would do is either go join Peter's headshot crew, because let me tell you, you saw me looking on my LinkedIn feed earlier, right?
Yeah.
There are some people on LinkedIn that they say right in their thing, I'm part of Peter Hurley's headshot crew. They are nailing the headshot like you cannot believe. I mean, they look like Peter himself took them.
Mm-hmm.
Peter does a great job of teaching this style of photography, but I can tell you what Peter's going to focus on. Like, this guy's giving you a nice smile. He's giving you a nice smile. She's giving you a nice smile. These are all professional quality. You can charge for these. But what Peter spends a lot of his time on, is getting you to get expressions out of people that are genuine and that are real and don't look like you said smile. All of these look like you said, okay, look at the camera.
It's like the subtle nuances
Right.
of like how the bridge here goes, or how the cheekbone goes up.
Right,
Like,
and
he's very
he-
into those subtle nuances.
He's into these things that make people's faces look great.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, I see some of these guys, I go and comment on their things. Like these people that are really nailing it, I'll go write them right on LinkedIn. Man, you are nailing this. This is phenomenal. And I don't know why I have so many Peter Hurley headshot photographers I follow on LinkedIn. But I see them on my feed all the time, and man, they are just terrific. They're all okay. But if you compare these with some of what Peter's students are doing, you would go, oh gosh, I need to do some work.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. You're doing on a scale. You're at commercial level, but once you get to commercial level, there's all these other levels. Like you can be a top pro or you can be a pro.
Mm-hmm.
Go take Peter's. He's got classes on Kelby 1, but I'm telling you what, his classes are going to be a lot on posing and expression, and about you getting
but that's,
emotion
I think,
and
what
connection.
is so. That's where you're at.
Yeah.
It's not the technical. It's not the lighting.
No.
It's the posing. It's the expression.
Yes.
It's that again. There's these subtle nuances that I'm like I don't even see. Like he gets into like just how you position your
they're
neck and your
very
head and
specific.
your. It's
Right.
crazy.
It's what Eric's saying. It's very specific to headshot photography.
Yes.
It's not model photography. It's not glamour.
And I
it's
mean,
not portrait. It is
You'll see
a
him do
headshot.
it, and it's like an inch different. It's
And you
like,
see the
just do
difference, and you're
this, just do this. Like it's like crazy.
Yeah, and it's so good. And if you were to become one of his students or watch his classes on Kelby 1, it will immediately change how you do this stuff because you're on your way. So, all right, and we spent a little longer on that one we should have because we got to get out of here. All right, here we go.
The network's so upset with us right now.
I know they are cranked. Okay, Mary Bell?
So they're either overexposed or underexposed. And the reason why I say they're overexposed is because this one on the sides of his face, something is happening where there's extra light shining. Maybe it's bouncing off his shirt.
It's not really that bad on the. Remember, you're 2 to 3 stops
forgetting.
overexposed. Go look over on my. Can you see my screen over there?
Yeah.
No, but I get what you're saying. Like one shot's a little more exposed, and the next shot is not exposed.
Right, yeah.
you know,
Like this
it's
one's way under.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Now, if I look on Mary Bell's screen, it looks
around.
right. If I
But
look
it's
over at her
jumping
screen, I'm
around,
like,
yeah.
yeah, that's about right. But it's a stop and a half underexposed at least. This one's a stop and a half underexposed.
Super underexposed. Yeah.
Yeah, they're dark. They're dark. All right. So we have some exposure issues. That's kind of a cute, boy and his cat.
Every time you do that, Scott, it's so funny to me. I lose it. Like.
Well, you want something not funny? You want to see some really great shots? You ready?
Yes.
Okay, I think you're going to like these. Look at this.
Yeah.
And?
Oh,
And?
Yeah.
Come on, these are beautiful.
that middle
For
one
sure.
is really good.
That's really
That's
good.
really good.
Great,
Yeah.
great makeup and the appropriate amount of lighting.
Yep.
And
I love that
shadows,
one.
that one's
yeah, these
cool,
are
too.
all.
It's like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
very Game of Thrones.
Awesome.
What was
Yeah.
Or like Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the
or
Rings? What's his
something.
name?
Or that would be
Bob Johnson?
Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Hagrid.
these are really well
haven't
done.
seen those. Yeah,
This person's got it going on. Well done.
Yeah.
No critiques for you.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, you're good. No critiques for you. Here we go. Huh. Maribel?
So for this one, I noticed immediately that her eye socket, like inside the whites of the eyes, look a little blue. And then, you know, she could have exposed the face just a little bit more.
Yep. And you're looking at the bright screen.
Yeah.
it's now take it 2 stops darker.
Right. Yeah.
Also, there's an over retouch to the whole thing. The skin's been too heavily retouched.
I think it can use some more retouching.
Yeah, but it's
Some blemishes on the,
there's some blemishes that could probably go, but the skin softening in
the
particular.
forehead. Yeah, I see it. Mhm.
Yeah, it's just it's a little overdone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it looks like she's picking up some bounce lighting on her face
It does.
from underneath, which is not awesome.
Yeah.
The bottom half of her face looks yellow. Now this could be you using a yellow or a gold reflector outside.
I think it's a gold reflector.
I'm going with gold reflector, and it's not late enough for you to use a gold reflector.
Yeah.
So
Well, it just changes all the skin tones are so different.
yeah, it's
You know,
yeah.
because of that.
Yeah.
Also, when you get your subject's feet forward, look at the size of her feet, which are not big feet in reality, I don't believe, versus the size of her head and the prominence of both. You've got to change your position. So getting down low is usually really good, but in this case, you got a bright yellow and the feet closest to you. I would crop in almost 6 inches below her knees. You don't need to get those steps, and I think you could have. It's the feet. The feet. I think this is cropped too tight,
Yeah, I agree.
and I don't like the. I would rather see just a tad more hair and less shoulder. There's just you got a little work here, but not bad.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Not bad, but you got a little work to do here. There's maybe you'd used a little some cropping issues and definitely some lighting issues, but not bad at all.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, just a couple more left, just a few more. Here we go.
This is exciting.
Do 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 do. Maribel?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it looks like a stock image.
It does look like a stock image.
Yeah.
Maybe it is a stock image.
Maybe. Ooh.
Well, good news. You're taking images that can be sold for stock.
Right. Yeah.
You know what? When people ask me what to wear for a portrait session, like let's say you're doing seniors or something, I'm thinking you're doing senior portraiture. The first thing I tell them is to wear a solid color, not black and not white.
Mm-hmm.
White is going to eat up the light, draw the eye, and if we try to fix it in post, it turns gray. So I would specifically say, can we stay away from white, stay away from black, and and wear a solid color.
Yeah.
The background, unfortunately, isn't out of focus enough. And I guess the cropping's okay. It seems like a little bit of an awkward place for the crop on the bottom, and there's a little bit too much headroom on the top. I don't know.
The background is too bright.
Yeah, the background's too bright.
Yeah,
Good point.
it's distracting.
Good point. And here,
This one's good.
this one's good. I don't like all the headroom above his arm. And I don't think the blurry stuff in the front is helping you.
It's
Like,
a nice frame. Like it's
this-
framing him.
This blurry stuff.
Yeah, that's the.
Well,
the
especially
leaves.
over the when it goes over the forearm
Goes over his
too.
arm and stuff. I don't know. I always find those very distracting. Every once in a while, I see somebody really pull it off with this
Yeah.
framing where it looks good. Most of the time, when I see framing, I think it kind of looks like this, where you go, it's not really helping. It's more distracting than it is helping. I like him and his exposure. It could be warmer. But gosh, it depends on which monitor I look at. If I look at Maribel's monitor, he's overexposed. If I look at the studio monitor, it's too contrasty. If I look on my screen, the contrast looks good and it needs to be warmer. What's yours look like, Eric?
It's
Hey,
more like yours.
And by the way, this is why I tell people who are sharing their Instagram on images on Instagram, I'm like, yeah, you want your monitor to be fairly, calibrated, but once it leaves your house, it's going to be viewed on all kinds of different monitors you have no control over. All right, so not bad, not bad. This photographer's, I think, doing a pretty good job. I really like that first one is my favorite, the stocky looking one, but it is stocky looking. Here we go. It looks like you talk like this. Look at me. Look at the screen. That's my favorite.
Yeah, for sure.
Hands down.
100%.
100%. It's so funny how you can get a consensus like that, right? Like, oh, that's okay. That's okay. Oh, yeah. Do more of
Because
this.
The other two they're just kind of just
Flat lighting on this
yeah.
one. Too
Plus
close
the
to the
angle.
background.
The angle's awesome on the
Angle.
last one.
Yeah, this one's really great.
Yeah, it's different. It's a different angle.
And the eye really connects with you,
Right.
and the smile looks genuine.
Right.
That's something that we have not seen a lot of today, are genuine expressions. We've seen a lot of canned expressions, going back to the headshot guy and some of the other ones.
Isn't that? But I think that's where, at the end of the day, it's either that.
Yep.
It's the expression. Yeah, it's all about that.
All right, last one. It's the last one. All right.
The last dance.
Oh, good. I really want to critique this one when we're done. Hang on. I want to do this particular photo. That's interesting, I think. And this is really interesting and well done. It does not look like that sky and this photo were taken in the same place. So there needs to be some unification there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some kind of a thing. Like, I mean, obviously that's a dropped-in sky, but it's just, you need to somehow unify this photo,
Right.
maybe putting a color tint over the whole photo,
Correct.
like applying an Adobe Creative Profile or a preset over the whole thing would help unify that sky.
I don't know. Just,
All right, now, I got to stop with this one, okay? All right, here we go. First off, you see the Marshall stacks on the left side of the screen? You flipped them to the other side of the screen. And now the word Marshall is all
Backwards.
reversed.
Yeah.
Look, go and go off screen for a second on me. Don't look at me. There we go. Look at me. All right, because I got to do something here. Hold on. Let me get this all the way opened in Photoshop. All right.
It's getting serious.
Okay, yeah, we're going to have to fix this. Okay, you can go back to my screen now. All right. Okay, you ready? All right. Look, all you got to do is this. You got to go to the word. Here we go. You know how to do this. And then put it on its own layer and flip it the other way. You got to flip it.
Ooh.
You got to, and then you got to, mask it so it doesn't, let's just get a quick mask on it and just get rid of all that other stuff. You got to go to every cabinet. You can't have words going backwards. It's just, okay, that's number one. Number two is the drummer is way too big. Look at the size of the drummer.
Look at the
The
legs.
drummer's huge. Look, it's like she's playing a toy drum set.
You see the
And-
legs?
And look at the legs, because it looks like she's sitting on the snare drum.
Yeah.
This is a fun image,
it
though.
definitely-
This is a really fun image. That's why I want it to be right.
Yeah.
All right. And the whole thing is overexposed, and they've composited all kinds of stuff. But I like it, and I bet the band loves it.
Fun.
But the drummer
Yeah.
is so large.
Yeah.
So look at the bass player. It's like the drummer's kind of got her legs spread apart. The bass player's trying to get some height. Also, the bass player is probably playing a regular full-sized bass. But that's probably what she plays on stage. But I got to tell you, if this was me, I think I'd shrink that, at least the neck of the bass down. I'd shrink it a little and
Yeah, get it back in proportion.
and content-aware scale is really good for that stuff. But bases are long. They are you have to get a special case for a base and on. And I think I have that same Fender Precision base there. And she's playing a Tele over here. She's fine. All right. But I like it overall. But man, when I saw the Marshalls flipped and the giant drummer, I'm like, I can't wait till this one comes up.
The concept is super fun.
All right. Yeah. All right. Well, we've gone through all the ones that we're going to get through today. We got some prizes to give away. Mr. Kuna, who's winning what?
We got Terry Wilson is winning the Platypod multi-accessory kit. We have Alex Phillip is winning the Nick collection. We have Gary N is winning the On One No Noise. And then we have Michael Buckman winning the Lightroom book. So if you just email us over at gridprize@kelby1.com, verify your information, and then send out your prize.
There you go. Also, don't forget to go to Dave Williams to follow Dave's trek on going to all the Nordic countries in the world's wildest van, and it is wild.
Yeah, because he likes the cold.
Thank you very much for being on the show and for not being scared to disagree with us.
Thank you.
Which is a wonderful trait, by the way.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, we're honored to have you as well. Thank you.
I have a new class coming out, so please, tune in for that when it comes out. Be on the lookout.
Well, I'll tell you this. Everybody that watched your other class is going to watch your next class.
Yeah.
That was great. And you did a great job. And the way you work with your subjects is really, really great.
I had so much fun.
And I think that is a learning thing. When you see a really good photographer who really knows how to work with people doing that, it really does. It's a learning experience besides the lighting, besides the styling and everything else. Just seeing how a really good photographer works with a subject gives you an idea how to work with your subjects, and it really that's great on its own. Before we go, Mr. Kuna, do you have any pictures to share from anything yet?
I'm heading to Blue Ridge Parkway this weekend. We'll see if there's any fall colors.
Is that in the Blue Ridge Mountains?
Yeah.
Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees.
Let's think. I went to the Dakotas.
Yeah. Are we going to see any Dakota pictures?
Well,
next week?
We're so far over.
All right, yeah. Next week, we're
oh
gonna
my
see
gosh.
Are you going to be here next week?
I'll have that, and then maybe I'll have some fall colors. Who
Maybe
knows?
some fall color. All right, Mary Bell, thank you again. Love having you on here.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Eric.
Congratulations on your new class, and we're very excited to see that. Mr. Kuna?
Yeah.
Any rocket launches?
End of the month, there's another astronaut launch, so launching some more astronauts to the International Space Station.
All right, and
it's a night launch, so boom, boom.
I'm excited to be shooting nothing. I got nothing. I got nothing.
Yeah.
I don't have any sports shoots lined up. I don't have anything. I got nothing.
You have everything, Scott.
I've been shooting as little as I've shot in my whole life during this pandemic because when you shoot people,
there's some air shows in Florida.
Oh yeah, in December I get to shoot an air show.
There's one I'm going to miss it though next weekend.
Next weekend?
Yeah, over in Orlando.
Is it the one we went to last year?
Yeah, not too crazy about it.
Oh, it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
They just, we had press passes, and what that meant was you had to press against the other people standing at the fence. It was terrible.
We left and went other places.
I wonder if I can get my buddy Pal to come down. Hey, Pal, come down. Let's go shoot an air show, Pal.
Yeah. There's a couple. And then there's one in Stuart, Florida.
I'm not going to Stuart.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. So Christine
air show season in
Christine
Florida
is
like
writing
that.
on screen end
Yeah,
show.
we're just going to keep on going.
Nope. We're talking about what
we're talking about air shows.
Air show, huh? What do you think? Air show?
Yeah, that's what we have in Florida. We get the early season air shows and the late season air shows.
Okay. There's a season for air shows.
Yeah, every time but winter.
All right. Well, now it's time to go. Mary Bell, have you shot any air shows recently?
No.
Never. I did shoot one on my phone when that airplane landed in the ocean that one time.
Oh.
I think it was last year.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That was pretty cool.
Well, that wasn't cool, but
yeah.
It wasn't cool,
It was
but
cool
it was cool to see.
but yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, we'll see you. Are you here next week, mister?
Yes.
Okay, all right. We'll look at Mr. K's pictures next week.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody, and we'll catch you next week somewhere here on the grid. Take care.
Bye.